Uh-oh. Flood area. It has been raining, but I don't think we have to worry. The road isn't flooded out. Hey everybody, John Plaskina here, and I hope you can see the cool kind of flooded forest down there through the GoPro. Probably not. Especially when I upload something in HD, it doesn't always seem to post in HD. I gotta double check all my settings and stuff. But I got sad news. This is a sad, sad day. YouTube has banned David Icke, of all people, and over Corona-chan. It's just like what I was saying yesterday, or in my previous video. David Icke questioned the World Health Organization's narrative on Corona-chan, and so he has been thrown off of YouTube and kicked off of Facebook within a day of each other, which is, in and of itself, is also creepy. Like, they get together once a week and decide, all right, who we're gonna ban. And of all people, to get rid of David Icke. Now, certainly, I don't agree with everything David Icke has to say. If you are unfamiliar, David Icke is somebody who famously believes that the ruling elite are actually lizard people in disguise, among other weird things. But do we live in a world where you have to be right about something, where you have to have a opinion that is acceptable at the dinner table when people who are easily offended are present in order to have a presence on social media at all? Apparently we are getting there. And it bums me out so much. I enjoy David Icke's content. It's not the kind of thing that I would recommend to somebody who is looking specifically to understand the world on a deeper, more meaningful level and looking for real truth. But he always had interesting things to say, and I don't want to see him get thrown off of social media. The guy ought to have a platform. And YouTube already does things like my video from yesterday. Just because I mentioned COVID-19 in the video, there was a disclaimer over the description and title of the video where you could get a link to all the really official stuff coming from the very official, very serious, very important people with suits on who will tell you what you're really supposed to believe about this stuff. But I don't believe in lizard people. I don't believe in aliens at all, really. But I do think it's interesting, over the last few years, the government has been more straightforward about acknowledging video and pictures of UFOs, unidentified flying objects, which many people attribute to aliens. Let's talk about that a little bit. So, if UFOs aren't aliens, what are they? Well, if aliens visiting Earth aren't real, something that is definitely real are governments, unfortunately. And one of the things that they like to do is keep technology a secret. So look at something like the stealth bomber. I forget the fancy-dancy official Army or Air Force numbers and model numbers and stuff for it, but that had actually been in use by the government for over a decade, I think almost 20 years, before they finally admitted its release to the public. And I think that is what UFOs are. They're some next level technology for aerodynamics that they just have not made public at all yet, because they are playing one of their phony baloney dick waving games with it. And I suspect that one of the reasons why you're seeing these things talked about more commonly in the mainstream press is because they may be getting ready to unveil some of this stuff and begin to talk about it the way that they did ultimately unveil the stealth bomber. And I think that could be one of the reasons why it's becoming more common to see UFO sightings over big cities in front of crowds, to where you can get some more credible video evidence that these kinds of encounters are happening. You know, I can remember back in the day when the only pictures that you would see of UFOs were a blurry mess, and the people talking about it were not all that credible, and you were called a kook or a nut if you cared about that stuff too much. If you were too interested in it, you'd be associated with weirdos like David Icke and Alex Jones, and your Your opinion was shuttled off of the mainstream media, and now we have these things coming out in the mainstream press. We have governments straight up releasing this information, and I think there could be two reasons for that. One is that they could be psychologically preparing us for the truth to come out, that this technology exists and that governments have it. And the other could be that these big countries, when they play war games with each other, one of the things that they like to do is violate each other's airspace and make a big deal out of it. Like, oh man, Russia flew over this territory and we scrambled our jets and we got the Russian diplomats on the phone, and oh my goodness, are we going to go to war where we're going to have to shoot the plane down depending on what happens, and yada yada, and it's a big deal. And sometimes it gets out in the press that that's happening, and that can be an excuse for war drums, or sometimes they keep it quiet if they don't want to bang the war drums today. That kind of stuff could be going on behind the scenes with this UFO technology all the time. And we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg for that. And so that's something that I've been keeping an eye on over the last maybe 5 years or so. That's been getting more and more common. And I guess that's pretty much all I got for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I always appreciate your time, I really do. And if you like this video, I would appreciate it if you would please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you know somebody else who might be interested in this kind of content, I'd really appreciate it if you'd go ahead and recommend me to them. That'd be great. Other than that, it is a harsh world out there, my friends, so please keep thinking and keep riding motorcycles through. Bye-bye.